It's June 30th, 2025. We're here at the head of what used to be Copco, right before it goes into Ward's Canyon. There's some activity going on up here today too. Looks like they are still working on the boat launch site. There's a lot of activity everywhere up here, but thought we'd come up and see kind of what things are looking like. Looks like there's already some gravel benches forming in the Klamath River down there that weren't here before. And I think that they put that one possibly in to help with the boat launch site. Things are definitely drying out up here. There's not as much green as there once was. There's still a few flowers, but not very many. Supposed to get thunderstorms this afternoon, so we'll see what comes out of that. But you can see things are definitely starting to dry out. There's not all the pretty flowers that there once was. And we haven't even gotten to July yet. So you can start to see there's some more gravel benches forming down there as well. So that's what things are looking like from right here. We're gonna pause and we're gonna head on down the road. So I come down the road a little bit. This is kind of where we're coming into Beaver Creek. Oh, sounds like I got a truck. I gotta move out of the way. And the dump truck just went by with a bunch of limbs. So I had to come down the road a little bit. As you saw, there was a dump truck that went by me full of limbs. So I had to come down the road to let him go by. But this is what it's looking like. This is a little drainage that's next to Beaver Creek. You can see that all the juniper trees are still down there. Now this is where Beaver Creek is, where the greenery is that you see is where the creek is. You can see everything is dying up here, starting to turn brown. I'm sure you can see the little excavator down there with all those little logs. Not sure what they're doing with those either. If you look next to them, those are still, looks like some of the junipers that were brought in over the last couple months. But this is kind of what this area is looking like down here. It's not very green in here. I'm not sure what they're doing in here. Looks like they're still working up the ground. Looks like the dump truck is still going around to the other side. I'm not sure where he's going. But this would be like the top of Beaver Creek. And that would be the dump truck that I had to move for and that passed me. Not sure where he's going yet. Maybe we'll find out. But this is kind of what the Beaver Creek area is looking like. Might just kind of stay here for a second and see where he goes. Lots of activity today up in all these drainages. Looks like Beaver Creek's got some water in it. I'll pan down there in just a second. I'm sure if he doesn't pull off here somewhere, we're gonna find him somewhere on our path. So look at Beaver Creek. You can kind of see there is still some water in there. It's hard to tell how much from up here. Still kind of trickling through there. Oh. So he did turn off right there. So what I thought was juniper could be what he's bringing in. This is probably the stuff, COS is the College of the Siskiyous, which is down in Weed. I was told that they're taking trees out and stuff like that. They're building apartments up there, and I was told that they're bringing all those wood debris from the college up here to use on the site. Look at all that dust. Lots of dust. So that looks like that's where he's dumping it at. So we know we saw the end dumps coming up with wood debris in them. We think we saw where they were pulling up above Copco, up on a little ridge. The gate was open today. So they must be taking the end dumps up there and getting rid of the large debris up there, and they must be using the little trucks to come down the road. This road is pretty inaccessible to the bigger trucks, so they must be utilizing the smaller trucks to bring it the rest of the way in. So now we know where they're bringing it to. It wasn't down at Camp Creek like I thought, since all that wood debris moved. It looks like they're bringing it up here to Copco. Try to zoom in as much as I can so you can see it. I'm sure all the houses over on the other side are getting pretty dusted up today. The wind is starting to come up. So anyways, that's what it looks like here at this part of Beaver Creek. We are going to continue our way around. So we come on around the bend. Over there is where I was. We passed the truck on his way out. You can see that there's another one coming in. But this is the other side of Beaver Creek. There's some water flow in it, but not a lot. This is looking upstream. That would be where they're putting in the day use access area. Sorry if I'm zooming in too fast for you or too slow. Right here is Beaver Creek as it meanders its way down. We stopped right here where they're dropping the wood debris off in the dump truck that we just watched dump. So this is where he's dumping it. And I'm not sure what they're doing with those shorter pieces. This is all supposed to be part of the restoration project. It's just going to be interesting to see what they do with everything. All the trees that you still kind of see standing upright are the ones that were submerged underneath the lake. I'm going to have to move here shortly as the dump truck is coming around. But this is kind of what it's looking like from over in this region. And that's what it's looking like upstream. So I'm going to pause and head on up the road. Sorry if you hear my car motor. There's another dump truck coming in. He's not as full as the last guy. Still see all the dust and dirt that comes off down there. It's pretty dusty. This dust is pretty powdery up here today. So anyways, that would be him dumping. And back off in the distance is the Klamath River. So you can kind of see what things are looking like from here. I'll kind of zoom in over there. You can still see that the juniper trees are down there. Oops. And you can still see all the dust that's still settling in the air. And I'm gonna pause it and head down. So I'm up here on the Copco bridge looking north into the Klamath River. You can see that the watercolor up here is a lot different than what we see downstream. It's got a brown hint, but you can also see the green hint to it. It's fairly clear, but this would be above 3 of the dams. The only one up above this area was the J.C. Boyle Dam. So this is kind of what it's looking like here. I'm going to pan over to the other side of the bridge. And this is what it's looking like on this side. You can see that there's pretty good water clarity here. I can definitely see in the water better here than I can at the other end of the Klamath River down by the Klamath Bridge or the Iron Gate Bridge. You don't really have this clarity that we have here, that I can see so far and into the water like here. So this is what this part of the Klamath River is looking like. And that would be looking downstream. You can definitely, on the whole trip around today, you can see where there's more trees dying than the last time that I came up, or were starting to die. You can see a whole bunch right there on that bank line, and even right here. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress over time. But like I said, the water clarity is definitely better here. You can tell where the deeper area is versus the area that's not as deep. Sorry if I'm going too fast for you. So anyways, this is what it's looking like from Copco.